The Dharma Discourses of Cardinal Master Chongsan. Part 1, The Canon of Secular Life. Chapter 5, Society. A society is formed when people gather together. Whether it is a group of several people, a nation, or the world, these all constitute large and small societies. In any society, there are distinctions between men and women, old and young, as well as differences between strong and weak, wise and foolish. Furthermore, according to these various relationships, different types of organizations and ranks are formed. If each sector within these relationships possesses the way appropriate to it, that society will enjoy peace and prosperity. If not, antagonism and quarrels will never cease in that society. In a society, there first must be a way governing relationships between a man and a woman. The way of man and woman involves first mutual respect. A man and a woman, by not neglecting the etiquette of mutual respect, will be respectful of each other's character. Second is discretion. When a man and a woman are associating with each other, they must be fair and proper so as not to harm sound morals. Third is concession and cooperation. Men and women should work for the construction of a vibrant society by displaying the magnanimity of mutual concession and the virtue of cooperation. An old saying enjoins us to treat other elders with the same deference we show the elders of our home and to love others' children just as we love our own. Respecting elders and loving children will be an admirable practice for a society. There is a way for adults to interact with the young. First is to sufficiently understand the new ethos developing every day and encourage all younger persons with genial expectations and hopes. Second is not to be solely concerned with their age but to treat each of them in a manner appropriate to their respective wisdom and conduct. There is the way for the young to interact with their elders. First is to respect them for their extensive experience and wide-ranging considerations and to defer to them with trustfulness and reverence. Second is not to forget to sympathize and comfort elderly people who are lacking self-power and protect and support them as best one can. In a society, there are also the various distinctions between poor and wealthy, noble and simple, high and low, first and last, learned and ignorant, wise and foolish. Summing up, we may refer to them all as the distinction between the strong and the weak. If, without a proper way governing relations between the strong and the weak, they each proceed only with oppression and confrontation, then both will suffer calamities. However, if there is a way for each of them and they proceed along a path of cooperation and evolution, society will experience peace and prosperity. Therefore, the strong and the weak must practice thoroughly the essential dharmas regarding how the strong and the weak may evolve, as elucidated in the principal book of One Buddhism, and ceaselessly exert their efforts until the strong and the weak both evolve into a single, eternal strong. When a person lives in a society, one can either be a member of the general public or a public servant. Therefore, a society cannot do without a way of the public. The way of the public is first to respect public sentiment meaning what is generally accepted by the society as correct. All individuals should respect and obey public laws and the general consensus. Second is to observe propriety, those who lead and those who follow, men and women, old and young, wise and foolish, strong and weak, must each not neglect the rules of propriety with regard to the other. Third is to give pride of place to the public interest. In all matters, whenever public and private interests conflict, one should give pride of place to the public interest. One should exert one's utmost efforts for the sake of the public interest, while being thrifty when using public property and while duly venerating those who devote themselves to public service. Fourth is to realize for oneself the public principle. That is, one must proceed with a thorough realization that respecting the public means to respect oneself and benefiting the public means to benefit oneself, and also that serving the public interest is a fundamental duty of gratitude.